and today I'm going to review Charles Dickens' Little Dorrit. In case you didn't know, Books for MKs is a charity that donates books to missionary kids. If you want to donate to the kids, you can do so at gofundme.com. There's a link down in the description, there's a card right up here, and a button at the end of this video where you can donate to the kids. And believe me, we really need donations. These are kids all over the world that live way out in the boonies of nowhere and do not have access to bookstores or libraries, and we send them some books. So every donation is very much appreciated. And don't forget to click on that subscribe button and on the little bell to be notified every time I post a new video. If you've been watching my videos for a while or following me on Goodreads, then you know that it has been one of my goals for years and years and years now to finish reading all of Dickens. And I am happy to say that I have finally accomplished that goal. Oh my goodness, it took me a couple of decades, but I managed it. Little Dorrit was the very last novel on my list, and I enjoyed it so much. So let's get straight into my review of Little Dorrit. Amy Dorrit was born in the Marshalsea debtor's prison, where her father has been incarcerated for so long that he's actually been called the father of the prison. Arthur Clenham has just returned to England after spending most of his life abroad, and he investigates a family mystery, believing that his parents have somehow wronged the Dorrit family, but unsure about how to make restitution. He befriends Amy, nicknaming her Little Dorrit, since she is the youngest of her family. Typical of Dickens, there are numerous subplots, a very complex tapestry of connections between characters, and various plot lines that intersect and combine at the end. I just love the complexity and depth of Dickens' plots. There is a lot of really wonderful family drama, blackmail and financial ruin, and then sudden financial gain, romance and despair, and of course that inimitable Dickens charm. I was not terribly impressed with the ending though. It was all kind of wrapped up a little too neatly and easily at the end. Some of the circumstances at the end were really far-fetched, but I do like a happy ending. The setting of the Marshalsea prison was especially powerful and well-written. And I could really imagine the people and places described, not just from Dickens's descriptions, which can be quite lengthy, but more from seeing how the prisoners reacted to the setting. More than once, even when just visiting the prison, characters felt claustrophobic, as though they couldn't breathe or they were choking on the air of the prison. It made the setting feel very real and really powerful in the story. I just adore Amy Dorrit's character. She is utterly selfless and generous, even though her family do not appreciate everything that she does for them. She is sweet and kind and soft-spoken, even in the most terrible of circumstances. I do wish that she had a little more backbone. I really wish she would just stand up to the people who are taking advantage of her and who are completely selfish in the face of her generosity. But I was deeply attached to her character almost immediately, especially because of her long-suffering and sensitive nature. I really loved the hero, Arthur Clenham, too. He is noble-hearted and compassionate and hardworking and trustworthy. He is really haunted by a very rigid upbringing that he had as a child. And in consequence of that, he tries to bring joy into other people's lives so that nobody else has to suffer the way that he did. In true Dickens fashion, many of the supporting characters are really memorable and quirky and just hilarious. A lot of them have really funny personal habits that just come up over and over again in different situations. There is such a variety of people, young and old and poor and rich. They all have their own story, their own moods, and their own motivations that affect the main story. I just love all of these rich supporting characters. Really, only a couple of the supporting characters, mainly the villains, didn't have enough depth for me. I was confused as to their motivation sometimes. It seemed like they were just doing evil just for the sake of evil. And a lot of the time, I found the scenes with the villains really boring. But other than that, I enjoyed this book immensely. I always love Dickens' writing style after I skim over some of the lengthier descriptive passages. I gave Little Dorrit 4 stars. Really, it was almost 5 stars. I don't know. It's not like my favorite Dickens, but I still really loved it. Please leave me a comment and let me know, what is your favorite Dickens novel? And be on the lookout for my video listing my top 5 Dickens novels, because now that I've read them all, I can really sit down and say, these are my top 5, so be on the lookout for that. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and remember, the right book in the right hands at the right time can change the world.